Okay. So I love to introduce my guests on the podcast based on how I feel about them. I never planned this. I never think about it. It's never calculated. It actually just comes out of my heart the moment we drop into the body. So I really want to just take a moment, first of all, to say, I'm going to miss you so much. And more than anything, I'm gonna miss your energy around. I'm gonna miss your gratitude and grace and I know if we cry, it's okay.
I already knew. I literally signed on to Zoom and I was like, why do I want to cry already? We haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Ah,
But I do want to take a moment just to say, because it's coming out now, your energy is so palpable and it's also legendary. And the way you show up every fucking single day taking on life is very rare to find. And I have known you for not even like 2 years, but you were
mhm.
part of my daily life and you also were part of my all and my ups and my downs. And you fucking
Mm,
showed up. And you
yeah.
showed up like a lioness. You showed up with a full loyalty to yourself and you showed up with so much energy. You dance your pains away.
Yeah.
You like you kind of like honored every time you boo-booed something and you said something wrong. You just kind of have this full ownership of yourself that shows up in a group of people and strangers in front of there and you stand and you're gonna be remembered. I'm gonna miss you so much. I really hope you come back and you honor us with your energy over and over again. But at the same time, I am very excited to see you on a billboard one day or starring in a movie.
All of the above.
So what
Yeah.
made you cry?
I think a few things. I think being seen and being spoken to and spoken over with such love and visibility and just pure kindness. I think that oftentimes, like, we as humans, but I'll just speak for myself, like, it's easy to feel overlooked and not seen. And so it's always such a beautiful feeling when someone acknowledges you. And I'll say, like, people have been coming up to me and like saying like good luck and everything, but I feel the same way. Like, I've known you for 2 years and you are also part of my daily life. I know that at 4:30 I'm going to see Malika and I know that she's going to give me a big hug. I know she's going to scream and jump and we're going to have fun together. And that is just as equal, that give energy of positivity, like, has also changed me and whatever
Mm.
day I'm having. So I'm just as appreciative of you.
Yeah. And I almost
Mhm.
feel like when we talk and we touch, and it's such a busy environment for us to even connect, but yet
Yes.
we manage every time.
And yet we do, and yet we connect, and I'm like, oh, this girl gets it.
How do you think that's possible? And I can only enter when you're open. And
Hmm.
you are open. And to me, this is why I always wanted to kind of connect even deeper. And we only had like 2, 3 minutes, or I would
Yeah.
graciously give up of my whole set, just to talk to you.
You would. You're very gracious.
And it was always, like there was always sense of the depth that you have that I almost admired. And we pass in this life real quick. We both live in LA, which is so busy, and
Hmm.
you don't have time to honor. We don't, when we say thank you and I love you and it's already
Hmm.
end of life, that's too late.
Correct.
And we somehow, you and I had this openness to each other since
Hmm.
day one, and
Hmm.
rawness and transparency to bring up everything that wants to show up. Though in a small bites, it was just so meaningful. And
Correct.
and I want to ask you this, and I was always really curious. I do think a lot, and I kind of analyze, and I watch everybody in the gym, especially you when you're dancing and singing on the top. And you're louder than the speaker,
Uh,
which, by the way,
Thank you. Thank you.
I love it. And I'm like, yes, you fire me up a lot. But how do you manage to pass to so many strange souls passing through your life? Let them go and also allow some to stay. How do you do that?
Wow. I think that it's it sometimes it's difficult, especially if I have a negative interaction with somebody. I'm definitely running through it, but that's because I'm hard on myself. But when I'm working through love and when I feel grounded in myself, I have an overflow and it's easy for me to give. And when they're passing through, that's fine because they're not taking from me.
Mm,
Um, so it's okay. Like if so many people come and go, I love it. I'm like, yay, people, connection. I hope you have a phenomenal day. Yeah, let's dance. Yeah, let's go. And I hope that that extra energy I have, that little boost I give, that little dance break is enough to like get someone else through whether it's a set or just the 45 minutes, or maybe they like when they go home after that they're like brushing their teeth and they remember how stupid I looked while I was dancing on top of a softbox. They'd be like, ugh, Angelie. And they can laugh a little bit, and that is no sweat off my back. So
mm,
I think that it's based in me feeling confident in myself and just knowing that I'm happy dancing and being and looking silly and being in front of people and being watched. And yeah, I'm like, yeah, here you go. That's
yeah.
nothing.
It's a permission. I think you have this like such a powerful permission slip that you're giving to everybody to be silly and be
Hmm.
fully themselves when they feel like it, right? So I didn't like to dance at the gym and I danced because you danced, right? So it's almost like
Yeah.
I want to move this energy that it's firing me up, but it's your giving. It's I think it's
Mm.
there's this massive amount of flare that comes from you and it just blasts open over and over and over again. And that is so, okay, let me ask you this. In order to receive, we first have to give.
Mm.
Are you seeking, what are you seeking when you give such blasts of energy? And are you seeking anything? It doesn't,
I think you put it in such a great way. It's a permission slip. I'm always encouraging people to like let loose, and I'm a huge advocate for chasing your dreams and going after it and saying fuck what other people think and fuck what society thinks and what you think. Like forget that judgmental voice, because it's taken me a very long time to forget that voice and I still struggle with it from time to time. But I like when I see other people do it, it like comes back to me and I'm like, yes, that's how it's done. Let's do it again. And it's just like, it's that constant. So I'm looking to cheer other people on and see other people accept that permission and feel that spark within themselves.
and why is this important to you?
Because I know what it feels like to feel muted
Mm.
and to feel silenced, and not just by other people or society, but from yourself, that voice that says that you create, whether it's because someone else told you to, but then you repeat it, your voice repeats what they said. So like, yes, it started with someone saying you're too loud or you're too much or that's unprofessional or that's childish, but then you start saying, oh, that's embarrassing, I shouldn't do that because it's childish, because it's unprofessional, because it's too much. And so I know what it's like to tell yourself that and to make yourself smaller. And it's not nearly as fun as just being yourself and being loud and being extrovert and just being out. I'm not saying everyone has to be an extrovert, but everyone should definitely be themselves. And I think everyone
Yep.
has a capacity for joy that they're not always 100% reaching.
Mm.
And when you know how good joy feels, why wouldn't you want to like share that, and like push
Yeah.
people, like just like a little nudge, like, hey, you should feel how exciting this is.
Yeah. Well, you have moon in Leo, which is this big of a heart that comes in and it shows up, and
Hmm.
it's joy. Leo is the joy, and it's in your,
Hmm.
I peaked, it's in your house of relationships and partnerships, which means that this is how you exchange with other people. This is
Right.
how you receive and give, receive and give. And are there any other ways that you charge this big of a heart of yours to gift it to others? Because Angelie, it's every day. You never failed. What?
Oh, what's your question? How do
How
I?
do you charge back your heart with so
Oh,
much love and joy?
sleep. Literally sleep. If I just,
Seriously?
yes. If I can sleep, I'm good. If I can eat food, I'm good. If I haven't slept and if I'm hungry, I've got nothing to give. I've got no one to give it to. I'm
Mm.
pissed. But if I'm full and well slept and I'm still low energy, acting, being creative,
Mm.
dancing. And I think that's why at 45 was so easy for me to constantly, because I would literally just recharge with a quick dance.
Yeah.
And just being creative and expressive recharges me. So I know that whenever I'm feeling not myself, I'm like, maybe I should paint a little bit. Maybe I
Mm.
should, maybe I need to like, maybe I should do a funky makeup look or something. Like I need to like be expressive in a different way or take a dance class or whatever. But yeah, working at the gym, I'm noticing as I like reflect, I haven't been to a dance class in a really long time because I already had that dance bug being fulfilled at the studio. So I'm excited to see like my transition after, like to see like, okay, so where am I gonna dance now? Am I gonna go back to dance classes? Am I gonna go out on the weekends? Like where's that? Because I do notice a difference when in me when I haven't danced in a long time.
Mm. So you almost like you recharge with this creative force that wants to be expressed through you. It wants to come, and it comes in a form of inspiration to create, to design
Yes,
something, to recreate.
precisely. Yes. Yeah.
Ah,
And it was like so easy to like choreograph on the fly at the
yeah.
like, and I would literally just feel the music and then do that dance move. And yeah, that is, and I'll dance in my room too. I'll just put on some music, close the door, and just by myself.
Okay, let me ask you this. How do you, okay, so what I'm noticing is that the music is a form of art of expression that moves your body. So the
Mm,
music actually shifts something, some energy inside of me. This is how I experience it. So when I listen to jazz, I jazz differently in life. When I listen to Leonard Cohen, very different depths of, being lost in the music. When I listen to the
mm,
upbeat music or something that is making me move, my energy instantly changes. And
mm.
this is also what I wanted to talk to you about. It is that how much of a physical activity, including any type of activity that you have, is actually shifting your moods and energies that you're radiating out from. What do you think this is very important to shift your mindset?
I think it is. Absolutely. I think it is integral. So if I'm listening to Spanish or Caribbean music, that is like more like Spanish music sounds a lot like Haitian Creole, like compa music. And so that makes me feel like grounded in my culture and my family. Like I feel rooted. And I'm like, this feels like blood,
Mm,
like this is like
yeah.
generational. Like this feels good. And then I'll have other ones where I'm just like listening to like hip hop or something, and like I usually listen to female rappers, so that always makes me feel like a bad bitch, and I'm like, yeah. And then there are other ones where it's jazz or smooth, and it feels rooted in femininity instead,
Mm,
and it feels like root chakra, and I'm dancing from a place of not trauma, but trauma healing, I would
mm,
say. I definitely have like, if I'm having like a dance party by myself in my room, the music is definitely, I don't know what I'm feeling. And if I'm angry, then I'm listening to like scream music, and I just like get it out and I'm like, ah!
yeah.
and then that's it. So yeah, I would totally agree that dependent on my mood and also what I want to express, what I want to release, it
Yeah.
depends on the music.
And how much do you park in those states? Music does help enhance any state that we're in, let's say, if we're down. So right now, you're about to transition your life into a total
Hmm.
unknown. And
Yeah.
what are the states that are present in your body? What do you feel?
I feel vulnerable. I feel grateful. I feel excited overall. And I feel aligned. Like it feels like peaceful. Like, yeah, it's like smooth, like, yeah, this is correct. And there's obviously the level of unknown as I go through this transition, but I'm practicing this new thing where instead of leaning into what I define as nervousness, I say, well, okay, what if this nervousness is just a different vibrational plane that I'm not used to? What if it's actually excitement? What if it's misguided excitement and I'm defining it as nervousness and fear when instead it could be something really great? Maybe it's just different. Maybe it's not, it doesn't have to be fear based or a negative emotion. Maybe this is an exciting and it's a good emotion. I'm just not used to feeling it yet.
Uh-huh. So how long do you park in them? Let's say
How long do
vulnerability.
I park in them? I try not to. My grandma has a saying. She says, "You can go through hell, just don't rent a parking spot."
This is what I
So,
learned from you. You told me this
yes.
2 years ago, and I have
Oh
been
my,
using it. Yes.
oh my God, that's so funny. Yes.
Yeah.
So no, I don't park long. I actually like pride myself in not staying, and I'm very much aware of, okay, I'm feeling it right now. And she's my grandma has also told me when you have heartbreak, you mourn the shit out of it, you cry, you hold yourself in the fetal position, and then the next day you get up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I it was a beautiful permission to feel fully and know that it's not forever, it's not permanent, and also it's your decision on how long it lasts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all of the above. I try not to park in negative emotions too much. Sometimes it's overwhelming and you don't even realize you're in a negative emotion until it starts affecting other relationships. You're like, "Oh, I'm being really mean right now. Maybe I need to sit down." But yeah, I think that I'm learning. And I think this is why I'm feeling so confident with this transition because I know that there are ups and downs always. I'm going to feel doubt. I'm going to feel uncertain. And I'm also going to feel confident. And I'm also going to feel joy and excitement and thrill and success. And that's just life. So might as well do what you love and feel those emotions anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
100%.
I try not to park too long.
Mm. And when you said something is that you have a story. So it almost sounds to me that the story that you give to whatever that is happening in the body or any emotion that is happening in the body, all it takes for you to just change the story and the feeling kind of changes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I have been using your grandma's quote since the day you told me because I don't park there either too long,
Mm-hmm.
but I honor it. And when I
Yes.
feel it and it hits me, I almost see it as, oh, you want to
Right.
express yourself, you, which is the creative life force, something much
Mm-hmm.
bigger than me. You want to feel what this feels like through me. And I'm just here honoring it,
Wow.
observing my way of relating with it, and I want to honor it. And I want to be with you
Mm-hmm.
until you are no longer with me. And that comes and then goes. And there's this
Wow.
beautiful saying, it goes like, only cry until it hurts. Don't cry longer
Wow.
than that. There's no
Yeah.
need.
Right. Right. Wow. That is so fascinating to think like, oh, the creative, the collective wants to feel this. And I'm just the vessel, I'm the chosen person thing in this moment to facilitate that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's such a beautiful way to look at it because instead of it happening to you, it's like you're in this together and you're like, okay, this is happening for us and for
Hmm.
us to experience. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, because you no longer you feel separated from it. You kind of feel the sense of belonging, and
Right.
you also don't have a reason to battle against anyone to prove
Hmm.
yourself. It
Right.
kind of washes off all these mental constructs and all these
Hmm.
beliefs that we had, and then we're then able to actually drop into the experience of whatever that is gifted to
Hmm.
us. I see it as such a gift, and
Hmm.
I'm learning how not to try to give it any definition or any meaning now, rather than
Hmm.
just be.
Right. Right. My cousin, she has a great thing that she says. It was when she first started saying it was pissing me off because like you would be going through something, you'd be like, "Oh, I have to go to the DMV," and she'd be like, "Oh, what a beautiful human experience." Wow. And I'm like, I can't shut up. Shut up. But it's so true because once you start thinking about it, you're like, "Wow, I'm so lucky. What a
Mm,
beautiful human experience. I stubbed my toe. What other thing gets to experience a stubbed toe? Like,
yeah.
everyone has felt that. Everyone knows how much that sucks. And now you're in it together. And now there's community. Now there's a belonging, like you're talking about. And what a
Yeah.
beautiful human experience.
Yeah. So when you look into the unknown,
Mm,
which is blank page, you're working with just like total canvas and you're about to paint and start painting the landscape you're about to walk in. David White has this beautiful saying. It's like, how do you know that you're on the right path? You actually don't know where you're going.
yes. There is no path.
There's no path
Right.
because if there is, it's not yours. It's someone else's path. And
Precisely.
you kind of need to feel your way through it. So how do you make those steps into the unknown?
Man, wow. I think that's so tough because that's exactly it. You can't look to anything and say this is it. This is where I'm supposed to go. It's
Yeah.
100% feeling. It's 100% gut and intuition, and it's a learning of choosing one's self. And
Hmm.
I think we as humans deny ourselves a lot and in different ways, and the universe gives us lessons or opportunities or whatever word you'd like to use to choose ourselves over and over. And whether that's relationships or career or health, whatever it is, we're constantly choosing self. So you might consistently choose the same type of partner until you realize that you're still choosing the same type of partner and they don't align with you. So choose yourself. And I feel like for me, for when it comes to career, I have been choosing safety and security and control above all else. I think at the root of it, it was control instead of myself. And myself was creativity, or is creativity, is art, is acting, is passion, and giving up control, giving up that sense of security of what's known and saying like I know that I'm going to get a check in 2 weeks. I know that I'm going to have X, Y, and Z bills paid. Those are great feelings to have, and it was denying the faith of source and what I know I want to do.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How did this landed on you as truth?
Hmm.
Was there a catalytic moment of realization?
I think it was a build. I don't think that it was just like one huge moment. I think it was many conversations with my counsel and also with myself, and also these lessons all the time. And when I reflected on them, about being at a crossroads with a job again,
Mm,
I feel like I've had this conversation before. I felt this already. And then reflecting on that, well, if I've already felt this, what is the universe trying to tell me? What has it been saying to me this entire time? And I think that the councils are my council's already, I say the council because I have a group of cousins that we call ourselves the council, my female cousins, and they have been saying the same thing to me that they've already known, and I just hadn't been able to hear it until recently. And so, with that reflection of, man, I've already felt this way, and then hearing them say, Angelie, you already know what you want to do. And
mm-hmm.
also watching my partner choose acting full time, and like him being such an inspiration and proving my limiting beliefs wrong of you can't do it. He's doing it right now. Why can't you do it? So it was all of those compounding things that sort of clicked, and it was the timing just worked out that I
Mm,
was like, you know what? I'm kind of at a crossroads with my current job. I'm just going to choose myself, and I'm going to leap. The net will appear, and I'll be okay.
mm-hmm. Mm,
And that is when it started to feel like truth, because I've always been okay. I always could do it. It's not, I don't know, I just for some reason, but not for some reason, I don't I'm not scared anymore.
love it. And when you say for some reason you almost don't know the reason why this is all
Yeah.
happening, you'll find out later.
Right. Like I don't even need to know. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when
yeah.
these like synchronicities happen in life, they're so obvious. And I love how you said it's like all these advices that came from counseling, which as humans, we love to fix others. It's really hard to fix within. And we're going to give everything in their power to give you the advice how you need to fix your life, as if I know your life very well. And this happens until you realize, but nothing is getting in. And
Mm,
then a couple years ago, it happened to me, and I said, I no longer want to give anybody advice. Please do not listen to what I say. Don't listen to me, because I never will
yep.
ever know what you need, ever, ever, ever,
Yep.
ever.
Yep.
So giving the advice, and I switch this back to don't give me the advice, give the example of experiencing what you're preaching.
Mm,
And if I can
wow.
see that you can, oh, then something in me will be like, "Hmm, maybe I can too." Right? And this is what you're
Yeah.
saying too. And somehow all the puzzles align, the synchronicity starts happening, and you are able to hear, you're able to see, the
See it.
veil
Yes.
lifts off, and you're like, new you. And it took our grandparents' entire lifetime to get rebirthed into the new life until it actually hits them so clearly. But now it's happening early in our lives. And I think this is where we as a collective evolved to get to understanding and comprehension that you do freaking have a choice. You also don't need anybody's permission to make a mistake. You're going to survive. You're going to make it. Why? Because you have the mind as a tool, the heart as a tool, the hands as a tool. You have a whole system in place for you to figure it out. And you can always ask for help. You can always reach out to say, hey, I need you. And this is
Right.
where that vulnerability comes in. And this is where, when it comes from the heart, there are people that will never say no to such thing, to such vulnerability, to such humanness. There are. And I'm one
Hmm.
of them, by the way. And what I love about this as well, if I may add, is that these are never, these are not verbal promises made.
Hmm.
These are energies exchanged. And these are the
Hmm.
qualities that we all have inside that in the end of the day, we all want good. I like to think like that. So my concept
Hmm.
about the humans is like everybody's asking for love. Oh my God. Everybody wants to have love and everybody wants to receive love. And there's a heart that wants to push through and it's pushing through. Don't you have a
Yeah.
sense of it?
Yes. Yes.
Self-love,
I
self for others, for the bigger things.
hmm
It's like the whole humanity.
hmm yeah.
Mm.
I feel like what you said too was like, and you can always ask for help, was just like, oh, like so huge because I think that was part of the reason why I felt like I couldn't do it because I was like, oh, I'm gonna be alone. I'm gonna, everything is gonna be on me. And that's not to say I don't have any responsibility anymore, but at the same time, I don't have any responsibility anymore. I'm gonna be okay because I'm always taken care of. Everything I need is always given to me, and I have everything I need. And God forbid anything truly horrible happens, I end up on the street, which would never happen. I still have some, I can always ask for help. And knowing that and being able to do that was like took a long time. I was not able to ask for help for a long time. And so, like you said, all the things just aligning to this place where I can be this and I can give love fully and I can allow myself the grace as well to just just be. Just be.
Yeah. I wrote the other day, and there's a difference between being arrogant and being humility. And I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
direct correlation. What you said, I can't ask for help. Like I'm like you. When you are so strong in your own, you kind of want to prove points that you really don't want to prove, but you're kind of proving
Mm-hmm.
it to the world. You're a woman,
Mm-hmm.
you are,
Yeah.
like you have a stand for something. You also
Mm-hmm.
have like the differences that you're totally battling with racism and everything in the world, and
Mm.
myself as the part of the LGBTQIA. It's almost like, oh, we are constantly proving and fighting, and there's just
Right,
this.
right, right.
It almost builds this certain arrogance for us to survive in the world, but arrogance
Mm-hmm.
for almost goes against. And how I realize it, it's almost like I'm so arrogant and thinking that I can do anything that I put my mind to it. But where's my heart in the middle of it?
Yeah.
And when that arrogance in life is actually constructing, it's what imprisons us, that arrogance
Mm-hmm.
to control, like you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realize that control is just imprisoning me and I let go of that, the humility shows up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Humility to really ask for help if you need it. Why not? Because listen,
Yeah.
we all end up there. We're all actually going in the same exact spot anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're all
100%.
trying to be happy, whatever that is. What is happiness for you, by the way?
Oh. Hmm. Happiness is getting a sweet treat with my boyfriend, snuggling with my cat in bed, watching a really funny movie, being on set is happiness, learning about a character that I get to bring to life, being in a scene with another person and connecting with them and creating art that makes someone else feel something.
Mm,
That's happiness.
wow. So living as a vehicle for transmission of something much bigger than you.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
absolutely. I think, like, when you get into a career like acting, everyone who's anyone will tell you if there's anything else you want to do, go do that. This shit is hard. Just do not pursue acting unless you can't live without it. Then you should
mm,
do it. And so you ask yourself often, why am I doing this? Why do I want to do it? If you want to do it for fame, don't. Go be an influencer. Go do something else. Don't. And acting is the true craft of acting is so vulnerable, is so honest, is so heart-wrenching that it's not a toy. That's not
Hmm.
how I view acting. So for a vehicle for fame or money, it's not the way to go. So when I ask myself, well, why do I want it? I don't want it for fame. I don't want it for like riches. Then the answer became, I want to connect with other humans and I want to make someone else feel something. I want someone to feel comfort in a film that I've created. I want someone to feel discomfort and question what they thought were facts and say, well, I've been taught that X, Y, and Z is true, but this movie made me really feel something different. Maybe that's not true. Maybe it's okay. And it comes back to that permission. It's the permission to feel like a kid, to laugh, to cry. Oftentimes, I have a friend who he's a therapist, and because he has so much space and so much depth, he doesn't cry on his own often because he's so used to holding space for other people. He needs movies to cry. If he's like,
Mm.
dang, I want a really good cry. I just feel like it's all bottled up and I can't cry. And he'll watch a movie. And that's his, not permission, but his vehicle to
Mm.
feel. And I think, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to be a part of that.
Mm.
So, yeah.
And this is not new to you, right? You've done this before, the moving, the acting.
Yeah, I have in different stages. I started my acting in Orlando with commercials and working at Disney as a character performer. And then I moved to Atlanta and I was in Atlanta for 3 years. I moved to Atlanta specifically because, and I had the choice between LA or Atlanta, but I was a little scared, and Atlanta was closer. I could still drive to see my mom and my niece and nephew, and it just felt like uh, an easier step to take. So I was there pursuing TV and film more, and then I had an opportunity to move to LA, and I was like, well, that was always the plan.
Hmm.
And so I moved. I didn't know anyone here. I have one cousin I barely see who lives here. I had one cousin in Atlanta that I lived with for a couple weeks until I got my own space. And yeah, so I've been doing this, and that's another reason why I was like, yeah, I just feel like I'm always okay. Like everything always works out for me. So, and I've played it safe before, and I don't really think I have to play it safe anymore. It's okay.
Mm. Yeah. It sounds like you just opened the door of possibilities for yourself and you're about to choose left and right because you're kind of in the right place. LA to me feels like a possibility. And
Yeah.
you're almost like you need energy for possibility like that. You
Mm-hmm.
need to have a full force energy and you need to be charged up for it to sustain the amount of possibilities and options and opportunities that you have here. It's a
Mm-hmm.
massive city. You can go left and right and change your mind 5 million times a day if you
A
want to.
100 million. Yes, yes.
And if you're flatlined and content in life, then maybe not. This is not a city for you. You need to have the charge and you need to go for it,
Agreed.
right? And take the
Agreed.
chance. So let me ask you this. Of course, I have some 5 million questions for you.
I'm obsessed. I love it. I'm so excited.
This- Okay, good. So, acting. I am okay. So when I observe you and I watch you and I feel you and I hear you, you embody this archetype full of energy. And there's an archetype in you that lives through you. And we can just mythologize. We don't have to pathologize in identification wise, but we can just mythologize and philosophically speak of you as the embodied archetype, right? That
Mm-hmm.
shows up every day at the gym. When it comes to acting, how you spoke of embodying some other story and living, using almost your whole self stays on the side and you
Right.
enter into this story out of which you are now embodying the life, the subject, the theme, the emotions, the experience, all of it is not your own experience. Can you
Mm,
tell me how, because there's a capability, you have to have capability to leave yourself aside and to enter
mhm,
fully into another role. How
mhm.
is this possible to be done?
With training, with um, knowing one's self is essential. Fully
Mm,
accepting oneself will only make you a better actor. You can always tell when someone doesn't like their voice, they don't like a part of their body, their hands, their elbow. They'll hide it when they're acting. They'll speak softer, or they'll throw a line away, or if there's a correlation with a line that the character is speaking and something you don't like about yourself, it will show up. But um, a person who is evolving in one's self is an evolving actor.
mm,
And there's always more to discover in oneself. You're always learning about yourself and you're always growing, and that'll always just make you a better actor. But someone who is unhealed, I guess, for a lack of a better term, but unhealed in whatever avenue, whatever aspect of their life, is a struggling actor.
wow. Wow. So you need to be really sovereign, you, to
Mm-hmm.
your awareness, to your knowledge that will never change. But you
Mm-hmm.
also, you're so accepting of yourself, so much so that you accept everything and you love it and you don't want to change anything about you. And as such, you're saying, as someone like that, then you're entering into the experience of someone else's role.
Precisely. And you can do it without judgment, because you can't judge a character
Ah.
that you're going into, right? You can't, like, if you're playing the villain thinks that they're right. The villain is no, there is no person, no, I mean, I can't imagine anyone who's so evil, they're just doing it to be evil, knowing that they're evil.
Hmm.
They might know that what they're doing is not acceptable, like socially or morally, but they know why they're doing it. They're like, yeah, but I'm doing it for this reason. And so even someone evil is motivated and driven and believes that they're doing it for the right reasons. Maybe they're not doing it in an appropriate or acceptable way or avenue, so you can't judge them. And so it's tough. Like I've seen people where they have to audition or read, or maybe they got booked in something and they have to be a rapist, or they're racist, or they're truly vile people. But those people exist. And just because they're vile doesn't mean that their story can't be told or shouldn't be told, because it needs to be, because it happens, and these are real stories, and I it's important that these stories are told. So even though it makes you uncomfortable, you have it's so important. It's so important. And then that becomes like knowing oneself. Like, you know that you're not a rapist, you know that you're not racist, and it's to get into that mindset of someone else requires full knowledge of oneself and no judgment, which is tough to do, because how do you not judge a rapist? How do you not judge a racist person?
Mm.
So
And yet
again,
fully embody it.
and yet fully embody it. It's tough.
Yeah.
And yeah, it requires a great deal of humility, acceptance, and vulnerability.
Ooh, it just got me like all pressured up inside. It's
I
like,
know, right? I'm like starting to get hot. Like I feel, because I'm so passionate about acting and the craft of acting, and it has completely changed who I am. It has evolved me by learning the art of acting and having great acting coaches and teachers and um, teammates, co-stars, watching and learning from other people, other students. it's made me a better person.
Wow. So, two questions.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find a fine line between acting and reality, that it's actually invisible line?
Mm-hmm.
When you blend in so much on this side that it's hard for you not to bring that to this side. Couple
Yeah.
examples. Lady Gaga, Joker is a really good example. Keep popping up in my mind. It's like you
Mm.
almost like you embody this role
Yeah.
so much that it's not you, but
Mm-hmm.
yet discernment between when the line is crossed
Mm-hmm.
in reality of who you
Yeah.
are as a living body. Are you concerned about it? How do you actually deal with it?
I I don't, I haven't had that because there are some people who are, they call it like method acting, who like go in and they tell people to call them their character names, and they go home to their wife and kids and they have to, you know, they throw away their cell phones and they're like, I'm doing a period piece, don't talk to me. Um, that's a bit extreme for me. What's worked for my acting style is journaling and like thinking how this character thinks and knowing that this is someone else. And when I come back to myself, again, this is another reason why you have to know yourself so well, because then you know where that line is. You know, okay, this is Jessica, and then this one's Angelie. And then sometimes Jessica and Angelie like the same favorite color. Maybe they have the same favorite color. And then, but that's normal. And I think, people talk about, well, I've been with this character for so long. Like you think about people who are on TV shows for 10, 20 years playing the same character. I
Mm,
can only imagine that things bleed together. You just know them so well. It's like putting on an old shoe. You
mm,
don't even have to tie the laces anymore. You just slip right in. And so when it's a new character, if I'm only working on it for like a short film, like for a couple of days, then I have to keep introducing myself to her and her introducing herself to me. There's always more. There's always more. One of my acting coaches, she said, you have a full life. If I walked into your bathroom, you would have a relationship with every single item there.
mm,
So that's the kind of level of detail and life you want to bring to your acting. So it's not just this scene that we're shooting like action and cut. There's a relationship to everything. I know where I got this shirt. I know who I got it from because it was gifted to me. I know the relationship I have with that person. I know about my hair, my nails, this table, this laptop. I remember how much it cost. Like it's stuff like that. There's so much texture in your life that yeah, there's always something to explore, and then that bleeding over, it might happen, but Jessica doesn't have this laptop. So I know
mm-hmm.
where it ends.
It reminded me of there's this book that I read on a sexual fantasies, and Agent Scully for X-Files.
Yes.
So she created this movement of a website, and it was either a social media outreach, and I don't know how she got to that point, but where you can anonymously submit an email and write about your fantasies in sex. And
Mhm.
they are sexual fantasies that live inside of our head. They were so
Mhm.
afraid. We never act on it. Many of them, thousands.
Mhm.
And she then collected them into the book. And then now she is actually sold the book in so many copies because in a form of actually normalizing that another parts of us live inside of us, and that
Mhm.
doesn't mean that we have to act on them. And these sexual fantasies, which out of which are all anonymous, and she even wrote it in her book as herself. So she started from herself saying, but this is part of me, and when I am intimate with someone or when I talk to someone, I can still have the part active, but it doesn't mean I am living my life as that
Through
voice,
that.
as that
Mhm.
accent. So this is a capacity,
Mhm.
incapability of us in humans to layer ourselves and almost,
Hmm.
I don't know, you tell me, I'll
Yes.
squeeze your Aquarius sun, maybe to live the parallel lives at the same
Hmm.
time. And this
Yeah.
is to me what it makes sense. You don't act on it because there's one archetype of you that lives this life, and there are
Hmm.
many others of you that are part of you that you can embody and
Hmm.
just give them the platform to express and
Yeah.
or never act or just acknowledge them that they're there, but you don't have to live through them. Thoughts?
Precisely. Precisely. And I think that's the beauty of discovering a character and becoming another character, because that archetype you're allowing, okay, this is the part that I don't acknowledge often. So let me use that part and bring it into this character. I'll
Mhm.
allow that voice to be heard here. And it's being able to see yourself in that. People, especially in LA, when the minimum wage, like the poverty line, is so high. Like if you make, what is it, less than $200,000 a year, maybe more, you are considered poverty line in Los Angeles. And realistically, there are financial experts that say you are only two or three surprises away from being homeless,
Mhm.
like car, hospital, God forbid someone dies and you're like, you got to pay for a funeral. That's all it takes. And now your money is gone. And to have that empathy and to have that realization that it could be me. I could be this person. I'm not today, but what would happen if, and who would I be? What part of myself would then take the lead? Like, this is the part that I'm not addressing, this survivalist. Like, I actually just had this thought today. I saw a woman walking the street who appeared to be houseless. And I said, "Oh my God, who would I be? What would I do if I were alone on the street? Would I kill someone if they were attacking me? Would I, to protect myself? What could I do that?" Like, and I just started going off. But that's the thing you have to think of. And that's the beauty of acting, is allowing yourself, all of yourselves, a voice.
Mhm.
Even the parts you don't like, because those parts deserve a voice too.
Yeah. And to be aware of how those parts. And
Yes.
here's the beauty. It's never you don't have just then that you've known of. There are many more coming through you, coming at you. And reminds me on this the scene in Matrix when he's dodging the bullets and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
he
yeah.
splits in many and then comes back around
Yeah,
many.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I always have this scene, and I was like, yeah, you can dodge the bullets, but there are many parts of you that you identify at once with, and then they show up depending on your environment and your
Yes.
circumstances, and also the ways that are passing through you in your life. Like you said, you can get hit out of left field with the surprises. And I love how you placed it. It's a raw reality. Living in LA is not easy, but you
Hmm.
also it requires a lot of your awareness and a lot of your understanding of your environment, how you become product of it, how much you can contribute, how much you can grow, and giving it a chance actually enlarges you a lot because you tried your best in every single form. So
Hmm.
question for you, how do you choose what part of you want to act upon? Let me rephrase. If there's a role that you would embody gladly,
Hmm.
would that be out of the parts hidden? Because you can pull the, Royal
Oh.
Highness Angeline and put her on the stage, or will it be the role that you're the most comfortable with?
Oh, wow. I think that it's, I actually auditioned for something. I didn't get it, but I was so connected to it. It's a play called Constellations by Nick Payne, and I think that's who it is. Nick Payne, I think. But anyway, it's called Constellations, and it is so beautiful, and it's a romantic drama, and I felt so called to it because I really love romance. I love a good romantic story, and I love playing in that world. And the drama of it, I think, is so the romantic part is like me all the time. And then the drama part is the part that holds great depth that I need of an avenue of expression for. So it's like it's not there, it's there all the time, but it's not expressed all the time because I can't go around crying for the world 24/7. I got to keep it together sometimes. Um so holding that deep well of passion and empathy and curiosity and love and all of the things for
Mm,
people and beautiful, heartbreaking stories. That's the part that, yeah, that's the vehicle for acting to be shown.
wow. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, if I'm hearing you correctly, what you're saying is act your whole life out.
Oh,
What a
I love it. I'm gonna
paradox.
put that on a pillow. I love it.
Act
Act your
your
whole life
life
out.
out.
Yes.
And that it's not faking it. It's actually has the, the filtering out and finding the ways to show these parts through the
Mm-hmm.
storytelling. So
Mm-hmm.
that way they can actually see the light.
Yeah. Because that's what it is when you watch someone on stage, when you watch a movie, you're watching these characters, these archetypes that you've always known because they're you, and they're allowed to say the thing because it's written perfectly. It's already written. It's the perfect argument. They're saying it right then, or you're watching them being unable to say the right thing in an argument, and you're like, ah, I've done that. And you're watching them be heartbroken. And now the audience is crying because, man, I felt like that before. And I never got to mourn how shitty that felt. And you're going through it and you're feeling because this person on stage, on screen, is feeling it for you.
Mm, wow. Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel the art is changing with this way of transmission between characters and people?
What
But
do you mean?
so, we would go to Getty. And unless you understand where the artist was and how to embody the artist that
Mm-hmm.
painted the lilies in the mental hospital as Van Gogh,
Mm.
you wouldn't get the sense, you wouldn't get this transmission. So you almost have to
Mm.
understand where the mindset and the feelings and the heartbreaks of the artist in order to actually understand the art.
Yes, agreed.
So do you and not museums are free and they're never
Mm.
crowded, so not everybody is ready to get the transmission of
Mm.
such art piece that was a gift for everybody. So do you feel the art is shifting as well towards more embodying not only the stories, but you're talking about the transmission? And as I hear you, and you are now the character and you're about to very much gasp the love that was prohibited for you and that again you had to say goodbye. And I'm just coming up with the story, which I think it's so cool, right? So you have to
You're a
say
writer.
you have to say no to what it feels like yes. And when you're in such a duality within it and you're embodying this through your voice and you're speaking it, I receive it through your transmission. I'm able to use my
Mm-hmm.
tools to see it, to hear you, to also sense you, how you tremble and crumble with this yes
Mm.
no duality in you. Do you think art itself is shifting to us actually embodying the art in a different way rather than just listening and having like a typical rom-com that ends the
Right,
same
right.
exact way?
I hope so. I hope that people find real art because, when you look at like the big thing that the industry is, that the film and TV industry is, you see that they're just making remake after remake, reboot after reboot, and it's because audiences are looking for comfort, they're looking for what's known, and that's one thing. But I also think that life and humans are constantly on a pendulum swing. It swings one way, and then they're gonna realize that maybe they need a little bit more. Maybe this comfort isn't what it needs to be, and then they're gonna swing to independent, off Broadway, one woman shows. Like, so I think that there's always both, and I hope that people always look towards art to feel
Mm,
something. And I feel like that's a whole other conversation of whether or not they are, or whether or not they can. Do they have it accessible to them? Um,
mm,
but yeah,
mm,
I hope so. I hope that they accept it, and if they can't, that's what the art is there for. So
mm.
that.
I like to think and I like to theorize about everything and also kind of go against what my mind wants me to think. And I like to theorize that we are on a precipice of a new way of a peak in art and in
Mhm,
art expressions. Not only that the Renaissance was the peak back in whatever,
mm,
17th
mhm,
century, but we're about at the precipice of the next one. Why? Because everywhere else we go, it's a block, block, block. You have no space to enter because it's almost like force upon information for you to absorb
mhm.
and absorb and absorb. And we're so stuck in the head, we're so mind driven that a heart is missing out. So the space in between now is left for us to fulfill through our feelings. So when there's nowhere else to go out, you go inward. And this is the whole point of us talking, you and me. Like we went inward out of which the creation
Yeah.
comes.
Mhm.
So I hope the bigger the space inside and the more lost we are in the world, the more clear we are that there's only one way, which is the way inward, out of which
Mhm.
something new is
Yeah.
birthed.
I think that I've my therapist friend who uh has taught me so much. He he I was like, why would anyone do that? Why does anyone think that? Like, why can't they just like see that they're wrong or something? And he's like, cause that sucks. why why would you reflect? Like, if you have the choice, think about it. And you are a bad person, would you want to reflect on that and like say, like, dang, I'm an asshole? Like, that takes such courage, such bravery, such a higher level vibration and thinking, and vulnerability, and just bravery to do. Not every person has that. Most people are walking in fear. And yeah. So when I see someone who's like, they can't really go inward, I'm like, yeah, it's really fucking scary. I've had to cry a lot. I've had to look at myself in the mirror and weep and be like, wow, things got to change. And
Yeah.
it took me a very long time, and I didn't do it alone. I had to have people hold my hand while I did it. So, yeah, I understand why some people can't look inward, especially if they're walking through life seemingly alone. It's hard.
Yeah. And so good at the same time.
It's
Once on the
so
other side.
important. It's so good. It's so
It's where the gold
necessary.
is.
It really is.
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow. Did you feel this hour, by the way? I'm right on time.
Dang! No, I didn't. I was like, listen, if she's gonna talk to me for another 2 hours, I'm here. Let me text I'll cancel right now. I'll give you another
Oh my
hour.
God. Thank you. I loved how deep we went real fast. And I love your openness to it and how welcoming you are to just explore and create.
Mm-hmm. No, I love these conversations. I love your questions. I love how reflective they forced me to be. And yeah, you got me talking about my passions. I was really into it.
Yeah. And we said we're going to talk about peace, love, and
Oh
hope.
yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Peace,
Magic,
love, and
magic.
Oh, magic, magic, yes. And I mean, it turns out this is all what it was, the magic, the
Really.
hope, and
Hmm.
peace, peace within
Yeah.
you, hope for the world, and magic in creation.
Yes, that was literally it. Oh my God, you were listening.
I love you, and I hope I never lose you, but the real love is the one that we have to say goodbye to. That's only and only it is real because it gets to express itself in its true freedom. And I love you, and I hope we cross paths again over and over again. You're
Over and over
wonderful and
and
you're
over.
beautiful. I thank you. I thank you so much for coming in my life.
Thank you, thank you,
You're a
thank you.
gem, and I will be your biggest fan once you put yourself out there and tell us the story.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I love you. Thank you so much for this. This was a blessing. I feel full. Thank you.
Thank you. I love you. Enjoy fireworks.
Okay. Have a great fourth.
Ciao. Ciao,
Bye.
Jen.